Hello and welcome. This is Best Foot Forward Shoes, the podcast, and this is episode 35. Thank you so much to everyone who is joining us on YouTube for all the visual aspects. Thank you for everyone who is listening on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. I've seen a pretty large jump in Spotify listeners, so thank you so much to everybody for tapping in on that platform and all the great comments and subscriptions and likes we've gotten on YouTube so far. It's really, really appreciated. Thank you so much to everyone for listening. I hope you're enjoying some of the great conversations that we've had with, guys like Sam, guys like Aaron Diaz, and today we've got a very special guest all the way from the USA again. It's Mr. Derek McDaniel, who is closed on Sundays on Instagram. He has, I think, over nearly 28,000 followers on Instagram. He's putting out tons of good content. He is the outfit grid master, and he just puts together the most cohesive fits. He's also a great family man, father of 4. He's living over there in Florida right now. And as you can see, he's got a great wealth of sneaker collections and knowledge. And we're just going to bring him on today to chat, just get to know him a little bit more, chat about his passion, chat about his where his sneaker kind of love comes from. But thank you so much for jumping on, man. It's really, really appreciated. How are you doing over there?
I'm pretty good. Thank you for having me.
No worries, bro. We've been chatting for a little bit on Instagram. Of course, if you want to check out Derek's Instagram, it will be in the description of this video, so you can go and check that out. Man, not that you need me to promote you. You're doing so well anyway. Like you're absolutely smashing it. How have you been doing over there? I know it's American summer right now, so you are. As you can see, I've got a hoodie on, so I'm a bit cold this morning. But how are you doing with your American summer? You just had 4th of July. How was all that for you?
Oh, it's been good. It's definitely hot here in Florida. It's hard to wear anything close to a hoodie. You pretty much just want to stay in the pool or go to the beach just about every day to get out of the heat. It's so humid. I'm sure y'all probably deal with humidity there. But it's been a hot summer, but overall it's been fun. We've had a lot of fun with the kids as much as we can get them outdoors.
Yeah. We've I live in Brisbane of Australia, which is probably about the 3rd biggest city, which is probably the most humid big city in Australia. So yeah, we get up to in the 90% humidities, whatever. I think it's like in America it'd be like 98 degrees be our tops in summer. So yeah, it's like pretty similar actually to probably around like, I suppose, like Tuscaloosa, that sort of area. That's sort of like Alabama, Louisiana type of weather. So it can get a little bit chilly in the winter, but yeah, that's kind of our comp, I suppose, in terms of humidity. I think that's probably the best way I could describe it for people. It's not quite as hot as like Miami or something like that, but it still gets pretty spicy here. But we are enjoying some nice cool weather, which I love. As you can tell by my complexion and my heritage, I am from somewhat of a nice, cooler kind of, climate. But yeah, we make do with what we can. And so with it being summer, does it kind of affect your sneaker wearing? Like, do you try and maybe put away some of the heavier, big, Jordan 4s, Jordan 1s, and do you try and go for something like a low profile mesh sneaker or something like that?
It does. I like the Jordan 1 lows. Obviously, those are like the coolest to wear as far as on your feet and not constricting your ankles or anything like that. But I like to wear different types of socks. So I kind of, even when I wear a low, I might wear a sock that's a quarter sock or a crew sock and kind of defeat the purpose of wearing the lows. But yeah, definitely wearing lows. I like 3s, of course, during the summer. I wear 4s as well. 5s do get hot. But yeah, I switch it up.
Yeah, man, it's definitely affects my sneaker choices. It's definitely when it's winter, like right now, I've been actually rocking the 3s, like the Lucky Shorts 3s. Just wore them yesterday. Like, love that pair. I'm gonna do a review on them soon. I'm really surprised that those didn't sell out. I think if they released I remember they released in February, the Lucky Shorts, and they were like got lost in the the Galaxy foams, the Union ones, like all of them. It just got lost in the shuffle. And I think that if they released in a different time, they would have sold out. But I'm very glad they didn't, because I was able to pick them up. And yeah, being winter, I definitely been wearing more Jordan 4s. Been wearing a lot more, Jordan 1s. We'll chat a little bit as well about some of the upcoming sneakers, which does include some Jordan 1s. So we're going to be chatting about some of those. But yeah, when it comes to summer, I do definitely rock a lot more mesh sneakers, which, I mean, I love New Balance, huge New Balance fan, big Asics fan. So when I'm saying winter, it's, maybe 65 degrees is the like tops for the day. So I mean, it's not exactly freezing cold,
Yeah.
but it's definitely bearable. So I definitely have been liking those ones. Have you got any kind of I suppose mesh runners you've been wearing lately? That's kind of my favorite lane in sneakers. Is there any
hmm
you've been rocking lately?
So, I have a pair of Vomeros. They're not in here with me, but I
Yeah.
like the Vomeros, and also I have some Asics OG Gel Light fives, I believe. I always get the threes and the fives mixed
Yeah.
up when I'm mentioning them, but yeah, I like those. Those are actually my go-to when I'm out and about more than anything because of the kids. The kids step on everything I put on my
Mm.
feet. But they definitely help when it's hot outside. I was going to mention that having mesh runners, switching over to more of those would probably be ideal for me
Yeah.
during these summer months.
Yeah, and you're, as you just mentioned, you're a dad. You've got
hmm
4 kids. I'm not quite sure of the ages, but man, they must keep you on your feet, on your toes. Like, man, like it's crazy that you even found time to be able to talk to me. That you can take some time away from your kids. So I really do appreciate that. I
Oh yeah,
suppose in an overall sense, I've also just recently found out that I'm going to be a dad for the first time. So
yeah.
um,
Congratulations on that. That's
thank you.
big, man.
Thank you, man. It is going to be a big change coming in January. I
hmm
really do appreciate everyone who has said congrats, yourself included. Posted a little like video about it, just kind of a little, I suppose, announcement video, which was kind of in the lane of sneakers, which I really
hmm
enjoyed doing. I really appreciate everyone saying thank you. Sorry, saying congratulations. So, do you have any kind of advice, perhaps, for anyone who is about to become a dad or is already a new dad or anyone who's got 4 kids like yourself? Any advice for me?
Yeah, so when having kids, what I've noticed is with every single one of them, all 4 of mine so far, at least. I don't know about everybody's, but with mine, the first 3 months are the toughest, the biggest adjustment
Yeah,
phase. But after the first 3 months, I don't know what it is. They just get a little bit of a personality. They start learning a little bit more, and they're a lot more fun. So it's less, staying up through the night, not so much less crying, but it's a different type of cry. I guess they're less needy, but they don't
yeah,
continue or they don't stop being needy, of course,
yeah,
until they're toddlers and they're walking around, and they don't need as
yeah.
much.
I'm sure adults with older kids would probably say they don't stop being needy until they're maybe 21.
Yeah, there you
But
go. Yeah,
it's just a
at least
different type.
18 or older.
They don't need their nappy change. They just need $50.
Yep,
That's
exactly.
the change. But yeah, it's exciting, and I will hopefully find time to still do podcasts and
hmm
content and such. Like that's hopefully not going to go away. But obviously, life will change big time. And
hmm
yeah, you're also heavily involved in your church. You're a great man of faith as well. Yourself and a couple of other guys who I'd also really enjoy chatting with is Clay, who's Gulf Coast Sneakers, and Kick It
hmm
with Jason Baez. Both of those guys are awesome. So if you want to check out a little bit more of I suppose, more of a Christian centric podcast or sneaker show, go check out Soul to Soul, which Derek's
Yep.
also involved in.
Oh yeah,
They
we
do.
appreciate that.
Uh, I think is it fortnightly, like once every 2 weeks, once every month. They just do it
Yeah,
like
it's
an
it's
IG
it's every
live.
other week. Yep.
Yeah,
Yes, sir. Yep.
yeah.
Every other week on Thursdays at 6 p.m. Central Time.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
Nice, and I think that's for me. That's like 9 a.m. the next day. So
nice.
that's
That's not
that's
so bad.
that's how I remember it. So yeah, I'm
hmm
definitely been checking out those podcast. Sorry, like it's like a live. I'm not going to call it a
Yeah.
podcast. It's more of a live show because it's not edited. I really do love seeing some of the guests that you bring on. It's really awesome,
hmm
and you guys chat about some great things and just like chop it up. And your chemistry is great. So if you guys want to check out that Soul to Soul. You also do like an Instagram challenge, like hashtag Soul to Soul.
Yep. Yep.
So really do enjoy seeing everyone tapping in with those kind of hashtags and everything. But I guess I wanted to get a little bit big picture here and ask you,
hmm
Derek, kind of where does this kind of start? Like, how did you become, so Instagram famous, so to speak, or how did you become so into sneakers and so passionate about this culture?
Yeah. So as far as the Instagram thing, I don't know exactly where, like I know kind of where it shifted. It was from a picture of some Jordan 3s. I took a picture of the Nike Air heel tab and Nice Kicks posted it on some of their other platforms. I don't know if the algorithm in Instagram just shot it up for some reason, but I know that picture really helped me get somewhere. And I literally laid on the floor next to our back porch. I was on the inside, of course, but I laid on our floor and took the picture with my phone because I wanted to try something new. And for whatever reason, everyone loved that picture. But as far as getting on Instagram, initially it was taking it seriously with sneaker content was about 2023. And it was really just to get on and meet people in the sneaker community, really to see if there's any other believers. Because where I'm at, there's really not any sneaker culture or sneakerhead believers. So I didn't have a whole lot of people moving back home. I moved away for a little bit, but coming back home, I just didn't really have that many people to connect with, you know, and grow with like that.
Yeah, nice. And sometimes you don't know what's going to happen when you do post a photo. Had you been posting a lot before that? Before
Yeah,
that big
yeah,
photo?
I
Yeah.
was. Mhm.
Yeah, so it's like you don't know. Sometimes you just post something, you just go on about your rent, you know, every day, and all of a
Mhm.
sudden something
Yep.
just happens, something clicks. It's like, were you just so surprised by that?
Oh yeah, I was blown away. I followed Nice Kick since the early 2000s.
Yeah.
That was my blog, my sneaker news. Like I love checking Nice Kicks out. So when I saw that, a few other people on Instagram, some friends on there, they were the ones that sent me. They showed me in my DM some screenshots. They were like, "Hey, Nice
Yeah.
Kicks reposted you," and I'm like, "What?" It's
Mm.
like a full circle moment. Although it wasn't a big moment, it was,
Mhm.
you know, it's kind of that turning point. It really meant a lot to me being a supporter of theirs for so long.
Yeah, yeah. It's sometimes you don't know who's going to repost it. You don't know who's watching. Sometimes, like, I sometimes struggle perhaps with this podcast. Like, is anyone actually like listening? Because, like,
Hmm.
you know, a lot of the times people are very kind of, and that's totally fine. They're very passive. They're just like it's kind of a part of their ecosphere in terms of a podcast or content, you know, consumption, Instagram and such. But yeah, sometimes it's nice to just have someone be like, oh, you know, let's push you up a little bit. Like, that's
Oh
kind of
yeah.
cool. And that's obviously not why we're trying to do it. Like, you didn't intend for any of that to happen,
Mhm.
not intending for anything to go viral, because that's almost impossible to try and do.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's awesome when someone kind of appreciates what you do, whether or not you know it means that much, because it's in the end we are just chatting about sneakers, and as you said, you know, our faith and things like that are far more important than sneakers.
Hmm.
But it's really nice to see someone, you know, appreciating what you're doing and the passion that you have for sneakers, which is purely obvious, you know, just by the amount of stuff you've got going on your Instagram and also behind you right now. But I just wanted to chat a little bit more about your content, if that's okay.
Hmm. Yeah.
How do you kind of find the time, being a dad? How do you find the inspiration, and like what sort of process goes into making one of your posts?
So with the children aspect and the family, it's been a little more difficult this summer. We've had a lot more going on within the family and stuff. But yeah, it's really trying to find time during the day that you know, if we homeschool, so that's a whole nother thing to discuss. But we homeschool, so what my wife will do is she will take them, you know, off and do their schoolwork. I use natural lighting, so I need a specific time of the day typically to do my shots. So she has to keep the kids clear out of the area. And then you know, I make sure everything's nice and clean and I get the shots and I go to work. But as far as like the inspiration for it, what I've kind of switched to, which a lot of people may have noticed, is I like sneakers. I feel that my collection has gotten a little more boring as I've become a dad of four because I've cut back tremendously. I used to have a lot of the Asics, the Nike, the mesh runners, different types like that. The New Balance. I haven't had a whole lot of New Balance, but that's something that I've wanted to jump into. But because of that, I kind of decided that I wanted to just do something that also that I enjoy, incorporate it, which was outfits. And the
Yeah.
outfits really make the content come easy for me because I like to really create a vibe or a story with my posts. I'm not sure. You probably noticed. I don't know if everybody notices that,
Yeah, yeah.
but
No, for sure. Yeah, you've got like the outfits, as in like the t-shirt and hat kind of
Mhm,
combining in some sort of way with the shoes. It's not just a black shirt kind of thing.
mhm,
Like I sort of struggle with that. I just like putting on a black shirt or a white shirt, and then just like I'm not really a big graphic tee guy, and I know
mhm,
that you are. So I mean,
yeah.
I appreciate the way that you style them, and does it take long to kind of create that stuff, or are you finding it pretty streamlined at the moment?
I would say it's probably easier for me than most people from what people have told me when, whenever I talk about my process. But sometimes it's not. I'm on my phone or on my laptop just trying to find that perfect shirt or that perfect hat. Because a lot of times I connect the smallest details, whether they're seen or not, whether
Yeah.
it's, a date on a shirt to the date the shoe's released or a team on a hat. Like this, like the shirt I'm wearing today has MJ and Kobe. So I have the Lakers hat with the GOAT flag. MJ's the GOAT. Kobe played for the Lakers. So I do little things like that. People
Yeah.
probably think I'm crazy, but I enjoy it.
No, that's cool, man, and I really do. Yeah, appreciate it. Again, if you want to see any of these posts, I've put some up on screen right now, but also you can go and check out and follow Derek on Instagram as well. One question that I like to ask as well is, have you ever experienced any sort of like burnout, like any sort of creative burnout doing this Instagram content creation? And what are some kind of strategies that you use to kind of overcome that and push on and find some more inspiration?
So yeah, I have. And one reason is because in the sneaker space, as you know, a lot of people do very similar shots. Everyone's going for that new latest release for the most part. So that was kind of why I threw in that the outfit aspect to my content. Because for me, I've reached back and pulled some pairs out of the collection that aren't new. And I'll put an outfit together, this a newer outfit with an older pair of shoes. That way I can create something new and kind of bring a little more light back to that pair while everyone else is focusing on a recent release.
Yeah.
But to me, that has helped me as far as with strategy and just being creative and not really running into too many creative funks. I've been able to do that, and people appreciate it because I'm not always putting out the latest and greatest. I honestly don't buy as much as most people probably do when it
Yeah.
comes to new releases.
Yeah, yeah. I think that can be a struggle. Some people, I suppose, are also chasing, I suppose, like early pairs, like not
Hmm.
just like new pairs, early pairs. Like we're going to chat a
Hmm.
little bit about some upcoming releases, and there's already reviews on these shoes out on YouTube. And so, as someone who does, yeah, make YouTube and Instagram content, it is like a little bit disheartening sometimes when you don't quite have the money to be able to keep up with that. And it's like, oh, well, is it even worth me
Yep.
reviewing this shoe now because it's already come out and there's already been reviews? Like it's kind of a what do I do here? But then I kind of have to think like everyone has their own kind of voice. Like you said,
Hmm.
everyone's kind of doing the same sort of thing in terms of like, an outfit grid or, reviewing a sneaker or photographing a sneaker, but everyone kind of has their own unique voice. And also what you're seeing on your algorithm is not what everyone else is seeing. So what you're pushing to them might be something completely new that they haven't seen before.
Yep.
You
Yep.
also got to think about it like that.
Hmm.
Has there been any moments where you kind of gone to make a post and then you just like completely scrap it? Like there's just been that huge amount of self doubt, and then you just kind of have a second thought and you're like, okay, just screw it. I'm just going to post it. Who cares? And then it just blew up. Like you had no idea that this was going to do as well as it did.
Yeah, that kind of goes back to the one that kind of lifted me up because
Yeah.
I like I said, I was on my floor thinking like, what's different? What is not, I don't know if this is good because it's not even a full shot of the shoe. I don't know if the lighting's the best. I didn't really know. I just laid down on the floor and took that picture. And I think that was kind of one of those moments where I just said, let's just do it. And then that actually ended up being what a lot of people like to see as far as coming to my page. So then I recreated that with different shoes, a few times, but that only lasts for so long as well. And then you have to change gears.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. It's kind of the constant battle between trying to be fresh, but also trying to stay to your niche. What's your signature? I think
yep,
that's
yep.
something that guys like who does that, like guys like 80 Sneaks, guys like that
Hmm.
with his photography does really well. Like has a design language, but also tries to keep it fresh with
Hmm.
different sort of poses of sneakers and such. There's kind of also that trepidation of going outside of your lane sometimes.
Hmm.
Like you might have had that, like going with that sneaker shot. And then
Yep,
also
yep.
going to the outfits, like there's always that kind of, oh, I don't know if I really would my followers like this. Like for a while, I didn't even post anything like personal. Like for example, the baby like announcement thing, or even just like my birthday, stuff like that. And then that seems to resonate with people, which is
Oh
kind
yeah.
of cool. Like it shows that people care more about yourself and then your voice in sneakers more than just the sneaker, which
Yep.
is good to see. I suppose that comes to like building a community. Like that's something that you guys, like I spoke about before with the Soul to Soul, you guys have created a bit more of a community. What's that kind of journey been like, creating that aspect around sneakers and not just purely focusing on sneakers?
Oh, I mean, it definitely brings a sense of what would the word be? It's relieving to know that there's people out there that are relating to what you're posting and the things.
Yeah.
Even reading captions, like I'm a big caption guy. Some people like to leave it short, but
Yeah.
when people resonate with that, it just it really means a lot. Because like you said, if you throw something personal, whether it's a picture or a caption or whatnot, and someone is paying attention to that, it makes you feel better. And it's I like to give out the same energy that's given to me, even if it isn't. I'm just the type of person to say, oh, happy birthday or congratulations or whatnot. But like that really builds community, and
Yeah.
I think oftentimes we can overlook that.
Yeah, yeah, for sure, man. And sometimes I feel bad because I'll see that someone had posted like someone that I really like and really follow
Mhm.
posted something like 3 days ago and I didn't even see it. Like
Mhm.
sometimes there's a little bit of guilt because like you
Yep.
follow so many people, and Instagram's algorithm is just giving you like random stuff, like not even counting the ads. It's giving you just like random things. I'm like, where is this coming from? Like, I don't
Yeah.
follow this person. Why is this account being mentioned to me? And like, I just want to see the people who I follow. So sometimes there can be a bit of guilt, and sometimes I'll do a bit of like I suppose a list, like go and look through a bunch of people that I haven't like seen for a while and be like, oh, have they posted anything? Because
Mhm.
you want to not only like, but also, comment and chat and see that sort of thing. So sometimes you've got to be a bit more, what's it like, purpose driven, like a bit more like I'm on
Absolutely.
Instagram or YouTube or whatever for a purpose to follow and create this community, because
Mhm.
sometimes we can just lazily kind of scroll and just see whatever comes up, and oftentimes that's not exactly what we want to see,
No.
if you know what I'm talking about. So
Mhm.
yeah, that's I think that's a good perspective about sneakers and community. And I did want to ask, kind of, as well as talking about creative burnout, we do talk about sneakers on this podcast as well. And I wanted
Mhm.
to ask you kind of about your favorite pairs. Like that's something that I always
Yep.
love to chat to people about. Is there favorite pairs of sneakers? What kind of moves them? And what are some pairs that
Mhm.
you, I suppose, can point out that are that are kind of your favorite sneakers in your collection?
Yeah, yeah. So my absolute favorite
Yeah.
sneaker is the Air Jordan 5, not the reimagined version,
Yeah.
even though that's the one I have here. My
Yeah.
2016s are falling apart. But yeah, the black metallic Jordan 5, and it's
Yeah.
more for sentimental reasons. When I
Yeah.
was able to finally, buy my own sneakers, I had my own job. I was actually
Mhm.
hired by this guy at Foot Locker that ended up becoming my best friend, or one of my
Mhm.
best friends. And he that was his favorite shoe, the Jordan 5. And he's like, man, you've never had a pair of fives? I'm like, I've barely had a pair of any Jordans. I've just appreciated them from afar, growing up.
Yeah.
So that was the first shoe. He was like, look, this is my favorite shoe. You don't know, what you're missing until you get these. So I
Mm.
got a pair, and it was kind of a bonding thing. We weren't best friends at the time, and then it grew into that. So that's just been my favorite pair ever since, because it was really like my introduction to being able to buy these, sneakers and have them myself.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. And do you find that the reimagined pairs, you spoke about it, the one that came out earlier this year, hold
mhm.
up to the original pairs, or like the 2016 pairs? Like, do you feel the difference between those?
So the quality between the
Mm.
2016 pair and the reimagined pair is definitely different. The reimagined pair is better. I'm not sure why, but overall the feel of it, the material on it, in my opinion, is much better. I would have preferred that it wasn't a reimagined version, but after having it in hand and it growing on me, I completely understand it, because it's one of my favorite shoes. I understand why they added the little details that they did, or should I say, changed the little details
Yeah. Yeah.
that they did. But yeah, I think there's definitely a quality, for this pair in particular, an up in quality versus the 2016s.
Yeah. Nice. And is there any other pairs that kind of you're excited about? Any other reimagines that you've picked up recently that you're excited about? Like I can see the white cement sitting behind you, the
Yeah.
white cement threes. Like that was
Hmm.
2023, wasn't it, or 22?
Yes.
No,
Yes.
23.
I
Yeah,
think it was 23. Yeah.
yeah.
It's passing so fast.
And you like that pair more than the previous release? Because some people were like, the elephant print is a little bit less. That's
Hmm.
probably the one thing that most people and the sail outsole was a little bit more, I suppose, a little bit darker, less like pure white. That kind
Hmm.
of seems to be the trend that Jordans are going in, is that kind of sail off-white outsole. Do you think any of those kind of hold up today?
So, for the threes, I would prefer. I like the threes because there's little things like the faded elephant
Mm.
print was actually more so what it looked like on the OGs from the pictures that we've seen. So
Yeah.
it makes sense. But I would have really liked to have the nice clean white, like that 88 look, with the change to the elephant print. So it's definitely one of my favorite reimagines. I would say mine are the fives, the Chicago Lost and Founds, and then the threes. The Lost and Founds and the threes kind of flip back and forth for me
Mm.
only because I love threes, fours, fives, and sixes. Those are my
Yeah.
favorites.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think they did a great job. It just wasn't. I think the midsole change really would have just done it if they would have went with white, and went with white heel tabs.
Mhm.
It probably would have just changed it big time.
Yeah. And there's speaking of elephant print, there's one pair that I can see is missing right from the back there because you pulled it out earlier, is
Hmm.
the Armor Meniere threes, which I
Oh,
absolutely love. I have the latest one, the blue one, but I don't have this one. And I think
mhm.
one of the reasons why people do like it that wouldn't normally like threes is because of the lack of elephant print. Is
Yes.
that the same for you, or do you just like it because it's awesome?
So yeah, that's the two things. The color, of course, at first was different.
Yeah.
I don't know if everyone was not sure or if it was just me
Mhm.
because it was non-traditional. But
Yeah.
this was kind of what broke the ice for me in appreciating non-traditional colorways a little bit more, or non-OG colorways, if I should say it that way.
Yeah.
But yeah, the change in the material going from the elephant print to this definitely,
Mm.
it was something I did like about them. I wanted to see it in person, in hand, to
Mm.
really appreciate it. And then the Nike heel tab, that was, that's
Yeah.
almost a guarantee every time. Right now, that's probably all you can see behind me.
Yeah.
It's Nike Air heel tabs.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really like how they changed the game with just their whole approach.
Yeah, I think that threes are my favorites. And I think that the pairs that don't have the elephant print sometimes are a little bit nicer to me, like just the
Mhm.
feel of them. But again, it's kind of new school versus old school. And I struggle a little bit with like wanting to buy like every OG pair, but then also trying to keep up with buying like newer pairs with, newer colorways. So
Yeah.
it's a bit of a balancing act. I think that if they are going to do more reimagined pairs, I kind of like that ode. Like you said, the Lost and Founds are like one of my
Mhm.
favorite pairs that I have, as well as the Black Cement threes are just sitting over there. I would grab them out, but I don't think we have time to chat about all of those.
Yeah.
But I do love that original colorways. And
Mhm.
I hope that they can try and do a little bit better in terms of, say, material quality. Like one of
Mhm.
the pairs we're going to chat about in a sec is the Shattered Backboard pairs, which of course are very famous for having great quality leather. And there's been, reviews already come out that say they don't have the same leather quality, but that's kind of to be expected, I suppose.
Mhm.
And it kind of keeps that grail status of the 2015 pairs, I suppose, intact because those have the best quality leather.
Yep.
Do you struggle at all with wanting to pick up new sneakers, or are you kind of one of those? I just want all the OGs and then I'm good.
So it's a balance, like you said. My whole thing with having the kids and having so much more to worry about financially and things like that, I was on an OG mission. That was my original mission. Get every
Mhm.
OG colorway from 1 to at least 14, of course.
Yeah,
Even though 15s were my first pair that I ever had. Well, that's a different discussion. But yeah, I wanted to get every OG, and I was actually on that path. But it's just like they come out every 5 years, and
yeah,
it is for the most part every 5 years, and it's very repetitive. So I was often finding myself buying the same shoes over and over. Whereas these collabs were coming out and bringing a whole different take on things,
yeah,
almost like a refresh. It's like we love this silhouette, but now we have something so nice and so new, like that really refreshes the way that we may appreciate or feel about the sneaker or sneakers in general.
Yeah. Yeah. And does that kind of excite you at all? Like, are you excited about where the kind of overall sneaker scene is right now, trying to balance those, inline releases, collaborations, new silhouettes, like new models? Like, are you excited with the kind of blend we're seeing right now with all these different brands, especially like Asics and New Balance kind of coming to the
Mhm.
forefront of sneakerheads? Not just like, you don't have to just have Jordans to be a sneakerhead now. Like,
No.
I suppose that was always the case, but it's a little bit more mainstream to have, I suppose, New Balance as more of your main passion and still be called a sneakerhead. Like, does that overall scene kind of excite you right now?
It does. Real quick. It's funny you said that because since I'm a Jordan head mostly at this point in time, I feel like I'm less of a sneaker head than I should be because everyone else has branched out so far. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they're buying everything: the Asics, the Sauconys, the New Balance, even others that I'm not even aware of. So I
Yeah.
feel like the Jordan thing has kind of taken the backseat a little bit.
Mm.
Just from what I've seen, it seems that way. I
Yeah.
don't know if that's the way it would be sales wise, but I feel like I need to step up my sneakerhead game. But I definitely love seeing the collabs in the other manufacturers, the
Mm.
other brands make it, kind of level the playing field. Like Adidas
Yeah.
with the AE ones. I don't know if that was the overall sneaker of the year, but I
Mm.
do believe that was a big game changing sneaker last year.
Yeah, it was kind of a consensus. Like, I tend to find that people will latch on to a sneaker, and then people who haven't made up their minds about what is, I suppose, the sneaker of the year, or give that the moniker of the best sneaker of the year, will kind of just fall in line with that. That's
Mm-hmm.
kind of what I'm seeing a bit this year with, I suppose, like the brick by brick Jordan 4s. Like, that
Yep.
is pretty much at this point going to be the sneaker of the year. And I think rightly so. I think
Mm-hmm.
with what that sneaker brought in terms of, a new design, bold colors, good story. It came at the right time. Like, it gave
Mm-hmm.
people enough time, to marinate on it and kind of think about it and wear it and put it together with outfits, take photos of it. Like, there's that kind of, it came at a best time. And I think that that's kind
Mm-hmm.
of the going to be the sneaker of the year. You look at, like, yeah, the AE1, the pine green SB4s, like all those sort of sneakers that have kind of taken that title. They kind of do, I suppose, become a consensus pick. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know this year if there should be a consensus pick. Like, I think that it's going to be very hard, and I don't like making my mind up about what my favorite was of the year until, I
Me
mean,
either.
for goodness sakes, it's July. Like,
Yep.
it's July, and people are already, doing like mid-year sneaker lists and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Which is fine, but I mean, let's not discount that there's still a ton coming out.
Absolutely.
And I suppose we'll get into that in a second. Um, Actually, we'll get into it right now. I suppose the Shattered Backboards was the one that I was kind of talking about a little bit before, and
Yeah.
it's coming out in about 3 days now. Probably have come out by the time I post this podcast, but I have a feeling that these aren't going to move as well as people might think, or probably should, in my opinion, because I love the colorway. I love the look. Jordan 1s are kind of dipped a little bit, but I just think that this shoe is awesome. I love the colors. What's your overall take? Because I'm definitely going to cop these.
Yeah, for sure. I'm gonna go for them. I I don't know if I should jump on them. Like I've actually,
Mm.
it's been a struggle to figure out what to go for right away and what not
Yeah.
to, because being a dad and
Yep.
man and balance and everything. But this is a shoe that I'll probably go for them. It's definitely. I wish it was the same as the 2015s with the material and everything. We'll see when we get them in our own hands.
Yep.
But yeah, I think it's a major release. But I do think, like you said, that it may not, live up to what we would expect
Mm.
looking back at 2015.
Yeah, it's definitely not going to be the same, but I
Mhm.
think that's okay. I think that it's kind of, there's always going to be people getting into sneakers, and I think that re-releasing pairs has been a big topic this year and probably the end of last year. And I think that this pair is not quite like a grail status shoe, so people aren't going to
Mhm.
get too mad like they would get with, say, like the Undefeated 4s, which are another shoe that we're going to chat about. But
Yeah.
this is a great like release. I just love the way this shoe looks. I kind of I don't I'm not super excited about colored toes on Jordan 1s. I kind of like
Mhm.
the white or sail, like just plain toes with the black leather on the piping there. But
Yep.
I love the colors, and these are going to be released in pretty much every single boutique and Nike retailer. So if you're really into these, you're definitely going to be an easy cop. Like these are for
Hmm.
sure going to be easy to get. I don't know if you have any like sneaker stores around you, but man, go and check these out. Probably on release day or even online, you'll be able to get them easy. The next one that we were going to have a chat about, which I already kind of previewed a little bit. Actually, I'm going to pivot a little bit. I love the 95s. Like this is, I forgot that I put that in there, but the Levi's 95s. I know you're not really a huge like Air Max fan,
Hmm.
but man, I've been loving the Air Max 95 this year. I just picked up the Armamanier. Speaking of them, the reimagined kind of 95s, which doesn't have the panels. It kind of has
Hmm.
them all stitched together in one straight line. They
Yep.
don't quite have the gradient tiered look that these do. But the 95s have been, obviously, it's a 30th year anniversary. They've been releasing a ton of different colorways. Man, I love the 95. I love the way it looks. If you get the right size, it
Hmm.
feels great as well. Great comfort. What's your overall take kind of on this Levi collaboration? I feel like is really awesome. Like you've got three different colors: the white, you got the black, you've got the blue pair right here as well. So man, these are going to be awesome, and I really do like kind of the way they look. I wish the blue pair was more available, but it looks like the white and black pair are going to be the most available. What do you
Hmm.
think about this shoe?
Oh, I think they're nice. I really like the Levi collaborations. I don't want to go away from the 95s, but the Jordan 4s, and they're supposedly doing Jordan 3s. But no,
Yeah,
I really like them. They're a very clean look. In that denim, you can't beat the denim on some 95s. Those are for Air Maxes. My favorite are the Air Max 90s and the Air Max 95s. They're
yeah.
I used to have more in my collection.
Yeah. Yeah, and they're also releasing like some jeans and like a really nice jacket with like the big Levi's logo on the back, Levi slash Nike kind of like co-branding, which is really cool.
Oh yeah.
I suppose these two, the Shattered Backboard and the Levi's, will probably have just released by the time I post this. So I'm trying to do like a weekly cycle of podcasts. Excuse me. And I suppose that these will probably have already released by the time we post this one. But man, I think these are on pretty much everyone's radar. Like this is not like a sleeper shoe that everyone like
Mm-mm.
that no one really knows. I feel like if you're watching this podcast, you probably know about this collaboration because it's been pretty much everywhere on Instagram and YouTube and in the sneaker kind of news. But I really do love this 95s. That they are going to be an awesome pair. The next one, which I was planning on talking about, was the Undefeated fours. They have been leaked for a long time. We've kind of known about them for a while.
Mm-hmm.
I think the official release date in the US is August 23rd. Here in Australia, I don't know what release date they will be. I don't know what boutiques will have them. I don't know if they'll have a Nike general release. Like it's kind of a lot of those questions are yet to be answered, but I mean, it's still a month and a bit away. The one certainty I do have is that I am going to cop them. No doubt in my
Yep.
mind, 100%. I think you're the same, Derek. Give me a bit of your thoughts about this shoe.
Oh yeah, yeah. These are a must cop for me as well. I definitely want the Jordan Undefeated fours. Hope that the Nike Air heel tabs aren't friends and family. I don't know if I missed news on that. I don't know how they're going to do that with having each available. I would prefer the Nike Air heel tab because that's what I've been on a mission to collect
Yeah.
overall. But either way, they're a must have. Even with the Jumpman, that's a solid shoe.
No, I think it is going to be the Nike Air, bit more readily available. I mean, if it was me, if I could have my choice, what would be awesome is have like the left shoe be the Nike Air and the right shoe be the Jumpman. Like for me, that'd be cool.
Oh yeah.
Like I love that kind of mismatch kind of thing going on. Like kind of like the Rare Airs,
Yep.
like you have the Rare Air threes, like with the mismatched logos on the back. I kind of think that would be a cool little detail, but probably not going to be the reality. But man, this would be an awesome pickup. If you don't know the history about undefeated fours, go and have a look. There's a bunch of articles, but basically, I think it was 2005. There was a bunch of
Mhm.
releases in hand. There was like 70 pairs and only one pair per size or something like that available in store. And then they've kind of had that kind of grail status of shoes going for crazy money. And the
Yeah.
undefeated fours, man, they are a crazy shoe that's coming back. I love the colors, love the story, and I think that this is going to be a great opportunity for people to not only find out about some sneaker history, but also get a pair in hand. And I'm excited to see all like the outfit photos. There's going to be a lot of buzz around it. It's kind of
Mhm.
I suppose, a moment where everyone can kind of come together and agree that a shoe is awesome, and hopefully that there's enough stock that people can get them. Like, do you think that it would be wise of Nike to release more pairs so that more people can get them, or do they want to keep it a little bit more, selective with who gets them?
Absolutely. I think with the amount of time we've waited for these, and like you
Yeah.
said, the value of what those pairs go for, they should do a widespread release. I think so many people will want these.
Yeah.
Even like the 95s you said, it's crazy that I think those are gonna outsell the shattered backboards, but they are. The 95s, these will definitely outsell them. I
Yeah.
think that Nike should definitely do a wide scale release
Yeah.
for these.
Yeah, I really hope that they do. I don't think that. I mean, when we say widespread, it's like what, 50,000 pairs. So they will sell out. Like, it's not like they're not going to sell out, no matter how much. I think, even if they pushed out like 100,000 pairs or something like that, like it's going to be a fairly big release. And I'm excited to grab them. And this is probably the last pair of fours that I want to get this year. There's a few more ones, but yeah, I feel like I've picked up a lot of fours this year, especially like the SB fours, the white cement fours, which were awesome, by the way. The white cement fours, love those, love that pair. That's definitely going to be just a sneaker in my top 10 for sure. That's an awesome pair. I love that one. But yeah, are you kind of a little bit forward out lately, or is this kind of let's go, let's get more?
To be honest, I'll take fours all year long.
Yeah.
I still have to go after the bricks. The price just keeps going up, but I was not able to get those. But I would buy fours all year long if I could.
Yeah. Yeah. I think I'm a little bit forward out. I don't know why, but I feel like I only have a small window where I can wear them in terms of, like I said before, with the weather. So
Yeah.
I am a little bit wary about picking up too many and that I'm not going to be able to wear for a long time. But this is a must. This is an absolute must.
Yes,
One
sir.
that is kind of up in the air a little bit. A bit more of information came out today, actually, about the Nike Tom Sachs Mars Yard. A little bit of a sneaker history again here. A 3.0 of a fairly widespread loved sneaker. Tom Sachs and Nike have had a little bit of history over in the last couple of years. So I don't think we'll get too much into that because we could talk about that for a while and it would probably get some sort of monetization, I suppose, flag, because you're talking about some of the court cases that he's had. And I think people have their own opinions about this. So I suppose show your opinion by buying or not buying the shoe. I'm not sure if this is one that's on your radar at all, Derek, but I just wanted to chat a little bit about it. And I think that this 3.0, this Mars Yard, is going to move the needle. I think people are definitely going to want it. I've seen a lot of positive reaction around it. For me, this might be a hot take. I agree with a couple of people, and I've seen a few people say this, but I think this is probably one of the least anticipated sneakers for myself this year. I do not see the appeal. I don't get it. I have Tom Sachs shoes. I have the general purpose shoes. I have 3 colorways of them. I love the feel of them. But this Mars Yard one, I just feel it is so kind of boring. I'm not sure why. What's your take on it?
I'm glad you said that because I'm in the same boat as you. There's really nothing about them that I personally like for this specific, this release. It's not a shoe that I would go after. I have seen, quite a few people talk about, what is the justification for the price and is this really that good of a shoe? This good of a release? For me, it's not. I'm gonna pass on those.
Yeah, just quietly, like, this is one of my favorite shoes, released in 2022. The general purpose shoe was just awesome. Like, I've worn these a lot.
Yep.
They're very comfortable. They're very durable. Literally designed to go with anything in any sort of they got a rugged outsole, they got a nice breathable mesh upper. It's a great shoe, and I think that they should have put a little bit more time into that shoe, more colorways. Like, that would have been so cool to see some, like, maybe blue colorways, green colorways, all those sort of things. I just think that this shoe is so bland and doesn't feel like it's changed at all from the 2.0. I know there will be cosmetic differences. I know there will be technology differences, perhaps like different cushioning, different react foam, all those sort of things. But I just don't get it. Like, I just don't get it as to why people are going to be super hyped about this shoe. Like, sure, you can cop it. I'm not really standing against Tom Sachs and, some of the allegations that he's had. I'm not really like boycotting it for that reason. It's just, I just don't get it. Like it's just not my vibe. So I'm kind of glad that you're kind of with me on that one.
Oh yeah, yeah. I'd much rather go with what you have back there behind you.
Yeah,
Much
yeah,
better.
yeah. Anyway, it's baffling sometimes, but that's I suppose on the counterpoint, that's kind of the good thing about sneakers is that everyone can kind of have their own lane, and
Mhm.
people can enjoy things for different reasons. Like again, I'm not a big Jound fan. Those that brand, Justin Saunders, the Canadian brand Jound, has been in the news because they've released a bunch of shoes with Asics. They've done 2 collabs with Asics over the last like month. They've been really big. They're doing a collab with Puma, and I just don't get Jound. Like, that's just not my vibe. But I'm not going to hate on anyone for wanting to to buy Jound shoes because I'm sure that people would hate on like Nigel Sylvester, like his shoes, like his loud,
Mhm.
bold shoes. People are like, oh, this is trash. But I
Yep.
suppose that's the beauty of it is that we can have that free speech and be able to, you know, say our opinion and not get completely destroyed. So again, I'm not saying this and destroying anyone for wanting this shoe. I just don't get it. Not my vibe.
Yep.
Enough said. I think that that's
I
a
agree.
great part. That's a great transition, I think, into this next one, which is a Jordan 1 Low, the Fragment
Mhm.
collab with Travis Scott as well. Kind of, I think this is the third collaboration we've seen between Fragment and
Yep.
Jordan and
Yep.
Travis Scott. That sort of triple collab, and I think that this one, man, this is a must have. I'm not sure the exact release date, but what do you think about this one?
I'm definitely going for these. I do think
Yeah,
that they're out of the three, they're my least favorite, but they're the most wearable, if that makes
yeah,
sense. It's a
fair.
very clean shoe. I'm interested in seeing the blue in hand. I think it's military blue, like it's similar to the fours, which is a
Yeah,
little different. So that's pretty cool. But I think it's a solid shoe all around, more so for casual wear and because of the how simple it is. But I do think that the first pair of lows, nothing, I don't know if anything's going to top that.
yeah,
And the highs are pretty solid. It's
yeah.
I don't know. I'm going for them though. It's a clean pair of ones, and you can't go wrong with them.
Yeah. No, this is definitely going to be a great summer shoe. Like for me, like this is going to release in the perfect time because this will be coming around to some hotter weather. So yeah, this will be awesome. Again, similar with the Undefeateds in Australia, not quite sure about how this is going to release, whether it's going to be a Nike only, like a boutiques only, like that sort of thing. It's kind of wait and see how much we get here in Australia. But these are definitely going to be one that I'm going to go for. Whether or not I get them is another question, but I really do love this pair. I suppose the question that does also arise with the Travis Scott pairs is speaking about Tom Sachs in a wider sense is where do you draw the line like between the artist and the art? Like some people
Mhm.
are really anti Travis Scott because of some of his, I suppose, the concerts, like those sort of things, like the Astro World controversies where, people passed away very unfortunately at his concerts. And some people have a
Mhm.
hard time changing the art, separating the art from the artist. Where do you kind of fall on that? Not to get too heavy, but where
Mhm.
do you fall on that kind of spectrum of art versus artist?
No, honestly, with his collabs, like I don't want to make it too deep, but like I often question, like as a believer in
Mhm.
what I've seen on his, from on his
Yeah.
end and with his concerts and the way that they go about them and the different things that are incorporated into those. It's hard for me to be like, yeah, I want to go out there and support and buy this shoe.
Yeah.
When I know that some of it is going towards that, us
Mhm.
us purchasing these has to in some way, fund some of that. But it's such a good shoe. It's just hard. You know what I mean? Like it's because I try to take the sneaker for what it is, and yeah, just
Yeah.
attaching it from that type of stuff. But
Yeah.
those are one of the ones with them being such a big deal and
Mm.
having such high resale value, just always taking the market by storm. It's a tough one. Like it's definitely tough to decide on.
Yeah, I think yeah, it's hard because when you do wear them perhaps in say like just the general public, like I'm not talking like sneaker events or posting on Instagram, people just see a pair of, brown shoes if it's Travis Scott or just they just see a pair of shoes and I don't think that they immediately know who has collaborated on them. Like
Mhm.
I think that wearing them out in public doesn't necessarily promote. I think that yeah, it's a fine line, and I don't have every pair of Travis Scotts. I think it's a very passive consumer mindset for me. I'm not really needing to buy every single pair. Like I have like maybe 2 of his Jordan 1 lows and the Field Jacks. Like, that's kind of
Mhm.
it. And I feel like that's kind of enough where I'm just buying them because I like the look of the sneaker. I'm not buying them, sight unseen because it's a
Yeah.
Travis Scott sneaker. I think that's the line where you're thinking about it on the merit of its design and its look and its color, and not just simply because it's a Travis Scott shoe. So,
Mhm.
I think that's kind of the line where you can draw. Again, I really don't enjoy some of the things that happen at his concerts, like you said, like some of the not violence, but just like mindset of just like let's just go
Mhm.
and get messed up, like that sort of thing. Like that's
Yeah.
that's not really my thing. And I think that people wearing his shoes oftentimes will draw that line. And I know I've spoken to some other people who they have lots of pairs and they don't even think about Travis Scott when they do it, when they wear them. They
Mhm.
just think Nike and Jordan. They're like, this is a Jordan 1. Like all I think about is Jordans. Yeah, sure, the Nike is reversed, but
Yeah.
you know, that's all they think about. So yeah, again, not to get too heavy, but I think that this Jordan 1 is going to be very popular, of course, because it
Yep.
has that name attached to it and because it's
Yep.
a Jordan 1 collaboration, not only with Travis Scott, but also Fragment. Like I'm totally, not dismissing Fragment at all, but
No.
they definitely move the needle when it comes to
Mhm.
sneakers. Like, do you have any of the I actually saw someone repost the Jordan, I think it's who was it? The Urban Syndicate. I don't know if you follow him on Instagram, James Harvey.
Mhm.
He reposted it. He went and grabbed a bunch of sneakers from his closet and he's like, this one, I've totally forgot about this pair. It was the Jordan 1 high with Fragment. And he's like, this one is the one. Like that's his sneaker. Like that's his favorite. And I was like,
Yeah.
yep. And it kind of speaks to what you're doing with your, content of pushing out old sneakers. Not
Mhm.
when I say old, retros.
Yeah.
How do you feel that people resonate a lot with those retro sneakers and kind of get reminded? They're kind of sick of seeing new sneakers. They just want to kind of be reminded and nostalgic about old sneakers.
Mhm. I do. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the best part of it, in my opinion, is just remembering that and having that connection. And like you said, I think that gives people a new appreciation, or how would you say that? They reappreciate something
Yeah.
after not realizing, it's been 5 years, it's been 10 years, or whatever the case is. It's nice to see it. It's refreshing.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's kind of, I suppose the vibe that Nike is trying to go for when it comes to bringing out reimagined pairs, like new pairs,
Mhm.
and kind of reminding people that this shoe kind of still moves the needle, whether it be like the white cement reimagines or the black cement that didn't quite do so well. But yeah, it's kind of the
Mhm.
thing that Nike's trying to do is not only obviously get more sales, but also just try and reinterpret shoes for a newer audience. And I think that's really
Yep.
cool. Of course, we're not going to discount the materials and the craftsmanship that goes into like original pairs. But man, time is a fickle mistress and she destroys shoes sometimes when it comes to,
Mhm.
the old pairs from the 80s. You've seen some of those videos of them just crumbling. And so I
Yeah.
think it's always good to see new pairs coming out. More people can appreciate them. And I think that if they adjust things slightly, I think it's okay for them to continue to bring out older pairs,
Mhm.
whether it be, the sole pairs that you have, that sort of changes, slight little changes. I think that's really cool. I know you do have the sole 3 pairs. Did you
Yep.
kind of enjoy the way that they reimagined that sort of tooling and the midsole?
Oh yeah, yeah. I guess I'm one of the few, but I like them more. I really,
Yeah.
with that particular shoe, I like it more. I like the way they incorporated the details. They changed up, a few things, but I really like that they went with the that nubuck material, that suede-ish feeling material for the elephant print. And I
Yeah.
actually like the midsole. I was sold on them from the beginning.
Sold. Oh man,
Mhm.
you definitely are a dad. You got that. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if that was intentional, but that was a good one.
No, it was that was a good one though. I'm
That was
glad.
good. I've definitely been putting a few more dad jokes into my repertoire. I mean, I've had for a while, but now it just makes sense, which is good.
Oh yeah.
I've said for a while I've been aging into my personality where
Mhm.
I've
It happens. Yep,
yeah,
yep. I
I feel like
definitely joke with my kids too much. They're not amused.
yeah.
The
But
dad jokes are old to them.
but in 15 years they're going to appreciate it. I think
Mhm,
that it's crazy how much when you're about to become a dad or you are a dad, you kind of realize how much you have been influenced by your parents.
mhm.
And my wife always says like you are exactly like your dad, and I'm like, no, I'm not. Like, no, I'm not. I'm not yet. Like, I'm fighting the hands of time. I'm not 30 years old. I'm not about to be a dad, that sort of thing. But hey, you've got to age gracefully and kind of move with the times and kind of continue to grow. And I suppose when you have kids, your life completely changes. And it's been a great kind of transition, I suppose, from a young adult and now I guess into an older adult. It can be a hard time, but I suppose everyone kind of navigates it in their sort of different sort of ways. But I guess that's a little bit of a wrap, Derek. I think that we've covered a lot today. We've covered your sneaker passion. We've kind of covered your Instagram, your content, some of the newer releases that are coming out as well. And I've just really kind of enjoyed chatting about these sneakers, and we're definitely going to have you on again, man. Like I don't feel like we covered enough.
No, we have more to talk about.
I'm trying to keep the nice and tight, keep the viewer engagement, trying to keep people involved. But man, there's so much more we could talk about in terms of like fatherhood and stuff like that. So maybe we'll do a bit of a round table and maybe have a bit more of a chat about that sort of thing. But man, is there anything you kind of wanted to touch upon? Anything you wanted to chat about before we kind of wrap up for the evening?
No, I'm good. I just really appreciate this. Is my first podcast style thing ever. The live shows that I do with Soul to Soul, that's all new to me still. We've been rolling out a few, but no, I just wanted to say thank you. I really appreciate you for having me on here. Like I said, it's my first. And this is something I kind of sort of been navigating, trying to figure out if I should jump into it. And I really enjoy this. It really means a lot that you asked me on.
No worries, man. Like I always appreciate and appreciate people coming on and appreciate people, listening as well. Like anyone who even would care to listen this long onto a podcast of some Australian guy chatting to someone over in America. Like it's kind of, this sort of thing could only happen in 2025 where someone even in like the Philippines or whatever could be listening to someone from Australia chat to someone in America. So that's kind of the beauty of the internet and the beauty of podcasts, whether or not you're listening on YouTube or Apple Podcasts or Spotify. You can find us on all of those platforms. You can also find myself on Instagram, Best Foot Forward Shoes. Derek, closed on Sundays with a Z. I didn't even ask about your Instagram handle, but just real quick, where did that come from?
So it kind of came from Kanye West a little bit. There was a song "Closed on Sundays," and my kids love it because it says the Chick-fil-A thing. So my kids loved it, and I was like, I want to have an Instagram handle that's unique, just different. I looking back, maybe I should have had something, related to sneakers or kicks or something. I don't know. But I was like, I just want to put my unique twist on it since my kids love that song. And that's where it came from. I just decided to take the S's out. So they're all Z's, CLOZED on. And then I wanted to put son for Jesus, instead of SUN, it's SONDAZY, or sorry, DAYZ. But that's where that came from. My kids.
Yeah. Nice. Awesome. I mean, sometimes it's a bit of a luck of the draw whether or not people are going to resonate with your username, because I don't know if Best Foot Forward kind of, I like puns. I like kind of, like I said, dad jokes, putting your best foot forward.
I like
sneakers. I don't know. It might be a bit wordy, but I think it's memorable for people when they kind of recognize the brand, I suppose, is the best way to describe it. So again, I hope everyone has enjoyed listening to this podcast. Check out some of our other podcasts. We've got some awesome chats with like Aaron Diaz, front page Aaron on Instagram. He's awesome. Got a couple of awesome guests coming up as well. Not gonna shout them out yet. I think that you're just gonna have to subscribe and wait for those ones to drop. Also going to be doing a live podcast at a sneaker event, so that's going to be awesome. Hopefully chatting to some awesome guests there, and creating a bunch of content. That is the It's More Than Just Sneakers event on the Gold Coast on the 2nd of August. So if anyone in Australia is listening and coming along to that, you can check me out at that event. We're going to be making a bit of content there. So again, thank you so much, Derek. Appreciate you giving up time with your kids, man. Like, really do appreciate it. And that's about it for everyone. Thank you so much to everybody for listening. Please like and subscribe. Helps the channel grow. I really do appreciate everybody. Have a good day.